Salut tout le monde, it is none other than your boyadero, Lukael. Welcome back to Disco Elysium. This is episode 27. In the last episode, we finally had the mercenary tribunal. Crenel got tired of waiting. They decided to take matters into their own hands, and it ended up in a pretty ugly situation with the Hardy Boys on one side, the Crenel mercenaries on the other side, and Harry and Kim stuck right in the middle. It didn't go too well, but all things considered, it could have been a lot worse, so I guess I'm pretty happy with how it went overall. We then went all over Martinez to kind of deal with the aftermath of this event. We took the time to kind of talk to everyone one last time, deal with any loose threads we had left, because next we're about to finally head to the island to find out who the real killer is. I really wonder what we're gonna find there. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in today, and without any further ado, let's jump right back in. Well, only one thing left to do. It's time to rock and roll. Lillian!
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
I got shot in the foot. It was more in the thigh, wasn't it? It was pretty bad. Pretty badass. You would have liked it. Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
You do?
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
Kim, I'm not gonna let you off for that fucking pronunciation.
You didn't only get shot.
I dodged the second shot. I can also get not shot. You should see the other guys. They're all dead. I did dodge one shot.
Well, good for you.
You should see the other guys.
So you're a killer. That's good, I guess. Better than being dead.
Most cops are killers.
Aye, I bet they are. The good ones, at least.
I have a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
The date. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on a drunk date. If you want to go on a date sober, we can discuss it. Although, I'd rather go on a date with Alice, but I think Alice might be a little too young for Harry. Could go on a date with Joyce, but she's married, so... We need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
What's on that island? I saw some kind of ruins through the binoculars.
Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think, bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you haven't been there yourself, but who has then, if not you?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me.
Yeah.
People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
Well, that, and plus if you get drunk on the island and then like you try and come back, you might like drown.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on
Really?
rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything I should know about getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
2 days of sunshine. I just got a bacterial infection.
I'm sad to hear that. Take care of that with ether, will you? Don't get too many RCM men round here. Be sad to lose the first one.
You're certainly the first person, well, not the first, but one of the only people here who's happy to see the RCM in Martinez. Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back. And no scraping the hull. I just got it nice and yellow. And no drinking on the boat. And no joyriding either.
What do you mean joyriding?
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
a day or two. What if I want to rock? That's fine, that's fine.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Well, it's when you smile that the crow's feet are supposed to appear, not disappear. Think you will use your skiff to get there then?
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Promise to bring it back. I mean, what if we get killed on that island? Then we won't be able to bring it back.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Okay, kids, you've been to that island, right?
On that island?
The one who's busy kicking the stone points to the bay. Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great.
That really sounds like they had an actual child read the script. They probably show them like the page and be like, please read this into the microphone. If it's not, if it's like an adult faking a kid voice, very successful. The boy pauses to think with his finger in his mouth.
And we make a fire. We make a fire. Gather the sticks for the fire and bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
What then?
There are lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
The fire guy?
Your nerve endings sting from the mention of a guy. They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island?
No.
The boy answers, shaking his head vehemently.
Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Yeah. The lieutenant raises his eyebrows and whips out his notebook. Why is he the fire guy?
Because
The boy pauses to think.
he asks to put the fire out.
Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
Wait, so there's some guy that just lives on the island and he doesn't like people to go there. So like he's what, like a fucking recluse? And he's potentially the guy who shot Lily? What for? Or is it just that he's been hiding on the island after doing the killing? But no, they sound like they see him there frequently, right? Also, Lillian, why are you sending your fucking like 5-year-olds? Why are you letting them just go alone on an island when there's some creepy guy? They're really not old enough to be doing this shit. The other one adds laconically, standing with his hands glued to his sides like a little tin soldier.
A suspicious request made out of fear.
You mentioned something about lights?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell which one now.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
The boy looks at his toes. Is there anything else you can tell me about this guy? Age? Does he live there?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
But you must have seen him. Your father used to go to that island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself.
Oh, that's nice.
Don't say that, he didn't.
His brother punches him. The boy's eyes well up like he's about to start crying. I'm just gonna say nothing.
I'm sorry.
The one says to the other, rubbing his brother's shoulder affectionately. Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell me about the island?
There's
The boy says, rubbing his eyes. It's clear that he has no intention of finishing the sentence.
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Well, we were gonna do that anyways, weren't we? Your dad killed himself. Is this information we knew? Did Lillian told us that? That like her husband had killed himself? I should have written this down. I don't remember. Okay. Do you know anything about the fire guy?
Be careful out there. Sea's calm as death, but still,
I'm expecting a little message like you won't be able to come back once you go there.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now?
I guess so, yeah.
Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
I'm not ready yet. I guess I'll make a save. So if I need to, I can come back here, but this is it. We're locking ourselves into the end game.
The skiff floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty.
I can't really finish any of these things. I have like a few rolls that remain, but most of them are bugged and I can't do them, or like there are things I don't really want to do, so I guess we're going. It's time at last, after so many episodes, to bring this game to an end.
Once you get in, that's it. Have you made all the necessary preparations? Remember what the net picker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
I'll hold the boombox. I don't think we should advertise that we're approaching the island if there's someone there, so let's just go. So, there's a guy on the island, but he doesn't live there. He's only there sometimes. Then that would mean he has his own boat, his own skiff to get there. And it's like his hiding spot, but like...
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
I was gonna talk, but... now I see there's like a song, so... I'm just going to take in the moment.
Want to be free. Want to be free. It will last forever.
Are we headed to our death? What's going to happen on this island? Who are we going to find? Why are you taking this long detour, Kim? The church with the hole in it. So, this guy can't be a person we've met already, right? Unless there's like someone I'm forgetting. Oh, it's kind of like a rearrangement of one of the songs. The song that plays in the apartment building. But with lyrics now. Don't even know what's about to happen, but this is like a powerful moment, and I guess that's what makes it powerful, is like we don't know. Is that an oil spill? Okay, so it's really not that far. I guess that's why the kids were going there, because it's very close to the village. It feels like we're headed to our deaths, but... something big. I don't know. I'm really stressed out. I'm really excited. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how this story
comes
ends.
to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then, There's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance.
Let's go.
Let's go. Oh yeah, and there's gonna be a new song, probably. There's always so much trepidation at this moment, this point of a playthrough, when you reach like the very end and you don't know what's going to happen for the last time. And that's why it's great to record your playthroughs like I do, because I get to revisit kind of like my mindset and what it was like to experience these big narrative conclusions for the first time. But you can't quite remember exactly what it felt like. You can't just bottle it up. Like, this is the closest it comes to it, is like just having it recorded. But like right now, I don't know how this story ends. I don't know what it's all been leading to. My expectations are very high because of how great the rest of the game has been. So I'm expecting them to deliver in a big way, in a satisfying way, but I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm puzzled by the presence of this other character here, because like I mentioned before, like how can this story have a satisfying ending if the killer is just a new character that we meet at the very end that seems like unrelated to the rest of the game? It seems kind of late to introduce someone new at this point. They need to have some close ties to someone, like either to Harry, or like, is there gonna be some twist ending, or like, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. A makeshift bridge. The bombs were powerful enough to break the foundation. A rusted chain trails off into the ocean. Okay.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Oh. This leads to the depot in the Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
Lock it from whom?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
This means I sorta got into the depot door.
Technically, no, it doesn't.
He's right.
Damn. Alright. Man, the music here is so... I don't even know how to describe it. These tires are falling apart. They're at least 50 years old. I don't know how to describe the music, and I feel like I don't need to because you guys get it, right? You guys know what I mean. It's so that. Alright, let's see. Let's see what the deal is with this place. Who is this fire guy? Attention, inflammable. There's like a leak. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel, black viscous. There's a lingering trace of mazout in the air.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
What is that flutter?
The flock of quail departs. Now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flutter?
On the islet, there is almost no wind. Just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline. Long dried leaves chafing against each other. Like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work, of great importance to the few who attend.
To the west?
A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
To the east?
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers.
Ahead?
A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow, A big building.
Beyond that, further north?
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless.
Below the silence?
A jitter. A sound impatient to happen, but not yet in this world. You hear some kind of limb fidget, producing an imperceptible tick.
Kim?
Yes?
It's pretty silent on this island. Have you noticed how quiet it is?
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Wait, I have to listen to one more thing.
The lieutenant nods in silence.
Open your eyes and stop listening. What the fuck? It like zoomed in there. I thought something was gonna happen, but it didn't. Okay. So this goes inside. This barrel says ICM. You see a star with little specks in it. The little bird from the coin-operated viewer is still holding on. No way to get up there. The stairs are gone. Alright, I guess we have to go...
ICM? This feels familiar somehow.
ICM. I know the ICP, but not the ICM. Kim, what is the ICM?
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the Communards Army. The black and white army of the revolution.
Sounds an awful lot like.
RCM sounds like, yeah.
It does.
Why?
The RCM may descend from the ICM.
May?
It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Revachol West was mostly workers and criminals.
Nice political thoughts rush through your neocortex. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics, with blood dripping down your thigh.
What I'm hearing is we descend from the glorious revolutionary army. It's a little embarrassing in 51, no? Maybe we need a rebrand? ICM sounds like ICP, very close to the International Collaboration Police. Nice and normal that way. I mean, it's only 2 letters, but... I just want to be in a normal right-wing police force, that's all I want. Just catch your breath. Just gonna catch my breath.
This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign.
A white star.
No, an upside-down star.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
Are those speck stars too?
No, that's the uninhabited archipelago.
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as the face in the sea.
Looks old. What's it still doing here?
After 44 years? That's not nearly enough to hide what happened here, Lieutenant Gefreiter. One of these barrels was still leaking fuel, as you saw. The city is full of things like this. Old bullets, guns, fuel.
I don't know if all this is just like to set the scene, like set dressing, like about the environment we're in, like this old revolution era bunker, but I feel like maybe what's going to happen here has something to do with the revolution, because they keep bringing it up. Alright, well, let's get inside. Oh, someone lives here for sure. Careful, these stairs have collapsed. Yep, definitely looks like someone lives here. This was once an armament rest. Twin cannons were attached here, medium distance, large caliber.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Oh, this is what he said. This is the line that he said when the airship came to get us. This is the... Again?
It's cold now.
Mention what?
It's cold, like you just said.
I didn't say anything, detective.
Okay.
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Did you not hear that, Kim?
It's been a long winter. Long and cold.
This is the anthroponetic crosstalk we heard on the radio. It was this line. So we heard a line that hadn't happened yet? I thought the Pale was supposed to be like past information. But we heard a line from the future. What the fuck?
Wait, haven't you heard this before?
Yeah. I'm glad you I'm glad you noticed. Where do these wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
He points to the open fuel cap on the side of the dynamo.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter.
He also said this.
The lieutenant pauses. Something seems to be pecking at the edge of his concentration. He gives you a sideways look before adding,
Yeah, because he also heard that, so he must be like, wait, this is what I said on the thing.
Long and cold.
"There's no time to dwell on this moment. You've got to keep moving."
I don't know. It's really weird. Tap on the side.
The hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
What does this mean? A generator here?
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
I meant, why is it here?
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm.
Alright. Maybe our
One
last
more
breakthrough
door.
of the playthrough.
There is no way to open the supply depot door. Accept it. You cannot open all the doors. You have to integrate this into your character. Some doors will forever remain closed, even if every single other door will open at one time or another. Maybe to a key, or maybe to some sort of tool meant for opening doors. But this one will never accede to such commands. A realization crucial to personal growth. Crucial.
I guess I just have to accept it. -1 half-light, no fear. All psyche, white checks unlocked. Well, I can't really do them now. All this just so I could get like a negative bonus. God damn it. I shouldn't have accepted this. Now my half-life is at 2. I'm just gonna forget it. I don't need a -1 right now. And I don't really have time for any of these either, right? The Wumpty Dump Center. It sounded like he also realized that what he was saying was what he heard on the radio from himself. That's very strange. Books, mostly fantastic and historical fiction. How can we have heard something from the future? Dishes stained with sauce and fire, a survivor's kitchen. Who the fuck lives here? You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder. It has to be, because there's all this, unless he didn't take it down. It has to be like an old, it has to be like a communer that believed in the revolution, because he's got like this Mazovian shit up on the walls.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses,
Why?
no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Is that what's happening? Am I just tired? Maybe a little shut-eye, just an hour. Why would I sleep right now in this bed? But the fact that you're saying that makes me feel like maybe I should? Maybe just to hear like my internal dialogue that's gonna happen? Okay, maybe just a little shut-eye.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there.
It's Kim who should be sleeping. He's the one that said like he hasn't gotten much sleep lately.
You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed.
Yeah, true. Curl up with your knees close to your chest.
The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until...
Let me guess.
You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening.
I said just an hour. Kim, you were supposed to wake me up. Oh god, he's Wait. No, Kim's... Oh, I'm dreaming, aren't I? The lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside to the beach. I think I'm just dreaming. Right? Or was this meant to happen? The door is still here, closed. Feels strange somehow. You can't get in. Oh. Through here. Kim? Kim, you were supposed to watch over me. I hope I'm just having a dream. Go down to the chain, there's something there. The chain? I don't like this. Don't like this one bit. Walk into the water now. You see her footprints on the water. Excuse me? I don't want to go in the water. I guess I don't have a choice. Oh, okay, well. I'm definitely dreaming. Further. Who?
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry.
Hi?
Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking.
I'm a big fan, I guess.
But you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go. Let her go? This is the holy queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win her back.
Why does Harry keep conflating his ex-wife Dora with Dolores Day? Is it just because they looked alike, maybe? Or like... Why does he keep conflating the two? Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry?
I'm not doing very well. I'm dying in a ruined flag tower. Blood is dripping from my chest. I'm in my head. I miss you. Yeah, he's definitely seeing his wife. I'm in my head.
Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads.
Do you miss me there?
Sometimes. Not as often as I used to. So much time has passed. More than it seems here.
She stares at her feet, the zebra stripes on the intersection, the lights of the video rental glow in her hair. That's the video store that I called when I called on the telephone. It was this it was that store. This must be their old home.
This is everything I always warned you about.
Something is off.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She stops mid-sentence, glances to her right, then looks at her bag.
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions.
You don't have time to tend to my emotions?
She sighs and looks over her shoulder. What are you doing? Stop saying things like that.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
Is it really? That's very far. What's in the bag?
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger,
Yeah, of
a
course.
spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
Aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this.
She corrects the wreath on her forehead.
This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium.
Of course.
It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder.
And she really wants to leave.
Anyway,
Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive, epic showdown.
no, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters.
Man. Every combination of words has been played out. It really feels like that sometimes, doesn't it? Our unborn daughters? Did she have like miscarriages or what? What happened?
It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
But that's not a very good way for things to be. I get the feeling you're not really Dolores Day. I know you still love me. Oh boy. I've taken responsibility for my actions now. I'm a new man, weighty and normal. I brought you this figurine of a headless fallen rider. But you said I have a vast soul and you will always come back to me. Mass murderer. You're not even human. Don't go. Okay, that's a lot of choices. How many of these will I actually get to do? I guess now I can finally give you this figurine?
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it.
I thought you liked figurines. I thought the figurines were for getting you back. Okay.
Please don't give me any gifts.
I've taken responsibility for my actions now.
She doesn't know what to say.
I'm so fucking normal right now.
Yes, okay. I'm glad.
I mean, I'm a moralist. The other moralists almost took me away on their airship. I'm not a broken, insane man who can't live without you. I know I made mistakes and I've taken full responsibility for all of them. So you can live with me again if you want to. I'm better now. You're right. I'm not normal. I'm shit.
It doesn't sound like you're better at all, Harry. It doesn't even sound like you're a moralist. It just sounds like you want to win me back or something. I don't want you to try that anymore, okay? It's too sad. I need to go.
Total annihilation. We got annihilated, Harry. It wasn't about responsibility at all. It was always only about you having no power at all. Over her, yourself, anything. That's why they didn't take you on that airship. You're insane without her.
That's not why. They didn't take me because I refused to go. But you said I have a vast soul and you would always come back to it.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
Actually, you didn't say it. You wrote it in a letter, a handwritten letter. I kept it in my paperwork.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
She brushes a strand of white hair out of her eye.
You need to recite it to her. For effect. All of it. No summaries. Yeah. Put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. collateral damage.
I shouldn't do that. I have it right here. Let me refresh your memory. Let's take a trip down memory lane. I don't want to hurt her. I feel like I've hurt her enough already. You know what I mean. You left me a letter saying you will always come back to me. That you can't believe how happy you are with me.
Okay, Harry. Okay. It was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowans. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. But you have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No,
A lifetime?
it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest.
I know Ceiling agrees.
But I'm no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
Yeah.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
I was cool? Can't you turn back to the person you were? I can see her in you, under the gown and that wreath.
And my crown of immortality. No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
You're a better man now, more level-headed, more normal.
We can get a nice place this time. I can provide for you. I was young and weak then. It won't help anyway.
Nothing will. I've been poisoned by newspaper and news. All I can do is scream at them and think of her, secretly.
I was cool?
The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants. Smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first. My first kiss. My first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore.
That's a good parallel for it. A ticket stub. Because you get that. It's like, I went on a trip once and you still have the ticket, but it doesn't do anything anymore.
Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river, to the aquarium first, I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face, the octopuses. It was just a day then, but to think. Were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me, talk to me about anything, go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret.
This is so interesting in the way it's written because this is Harry. You know, Harry talking to himself. Harry telling himself that it's all useless and that memories of her are only going to bring him pain now. But it's her voice and it's her body. And like, she's talking as if she's herself, but also as if she's Dolores Day, but also as if it's Harry himself. It's like all meshed together. As dreams tend to be, where like two different people will like merge into a new identity and it's like both of them. Well, what now? What happens now? What is the next thing we talk about?
Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome.
I get the feeling you're not really Dolores Day.
I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day?
She looks at you quizzically. It does not seem like a mystery she wants to get into. You're the X something. You're the morning. I've heard you before. You're the voice on the phone. On second thought, you're Dolores Day, Queen Regnant of the territories of Mundi and Insulinde, and nothing else. You're the morning.
The morning? I don't understand.
No, I meant mourning. I'm grieving, but you're not even dead.
Oh my god, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive. Any of that. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn.
Is she really 32? How old is Harrigan's? Like 48? Ugh. Ugh. That's a bit of an age gap, right? Like, how young were you when we first met? I mean, I'm not judging, just curious. You're the X something.
Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne Aerodrome at 10:20 p.m. I still have a light rail to catch. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you.
Who, everyone?
Everyone.
Literally all of you.
I should have stayed down. I should have gone even deeper to a place where I never met you, because it's impossible to meet people in the abyss of the void. I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm getting so much closure.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite.
Man, like, I don't want to get into too much personal shit, but like, I've gone through a really, really difficult breakup before, and I can definitely relate to Harry in this moment. Like, I guess it wasn't as bad as Harry. I don't know how long they were together. Maybe they were married, maybe they had like, maybe children or like unborn children. I'm not sure. But I can definitely relate in a lot of the things that are written and a lot of the feelings that are described, and like feeling like everything has been said, but like you still can't move on. And like when I had that really bad breakup, it took me a very long time to move on. Like I would say it took me a good... I was like in the same state as Harry for a good like 2 years on and off. Like it wasn't like that every day. I had some good days, but like it took me a really long time to get over it. And I'm way better now, by the way. It's been over a decade, and like we're friends now, and it's all good. But yeah, for a long time it was very difficult, and it's just, yeah, this really, it hits me right here, because I can, it brings me back to that time. It reminds me of what it felt like to just have this lack of closure and like this longing, this mourning for a person who's not there anymore. And it's not like they're dead. You have to just accept that they're out there in the world, living their lives with someone else, and that all these memories you have together and all this happiness that they brought you is just, it's in the past. Like, it's the ticket stub, man. Like, you went on this trip, and like at a time you loved each other so much you wanted to be together forever, and like they told you as much. They told you, I love you so much, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. And then one night you're sitting alone and you have to just accept that, well, it wasn't for our full life, was it? But it was for part of our life. And it's a very long process, and it's different for everyone, and every relationship is different. But like, you might have gone through something similar if you're watching this. Maybe you haven't yet. I hope whenever it happens, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best to deal with it, but more likely you've already dealt with it, because I feel like we all have. It's just a part of life, and the good thing is that you pretty much always get over it eventually, and then you can look back and smile and just be grateful that you lived through it. It's like anything, you know, it's like losing a pet, losing a friend, losing a parent. It really fucking hurts at first, and you have to give yourself time to just accept it. But eventually you're just grateful that they got to be a part of your life, because nothing in life lasts forever. You just have to be thankful that you were lucky enough to have it for a small part of your life, you know? And it's very rare that good things end in a nice way. You know, every person you love, when they die, it's going to hurt. It's not going to be in a nice way. It's going to be in a way that sucks. They're going to be sick. They're going to, you know, die from illness or like in an accident or something awful like that. And it taints the aftermath. It's the lasting memory you're stuck with is the final thing, you know? It's the final horrible thing that took them away from you. Whether it's your cat, your dog, your friend, your old girlfriend, your old boyfriend, like whatever it is, you're always left with the last thing, and the last thing is always bad. It makes it really difficult to just see the positive, but it's necessary. You know, we just have to in order to move on to the next positive thing in our life. I think this game and its beautiful writing, I would say it's definitely come the closest that someone has been able to put into words what it feels like. Out of any media that I've experienced, the way Harry talks about losing his wife, it's just very well written. It's very well described, and it hits home. It's just a great way to visualize it, because that's really what it feels like. And I hope Harry gets over it, you know? I hope Harry finds some closure somehow and is able to just move past it and get to experience good things in the future again. If we don't fucking die on this island, I don't know what awaits us, but I hope that he eventually moves past this point that he's at right now. Does he even deserve it? I don't know. Maybe Harry was like just a awful person until just a few days ago when the player got in control of him. Like, I've tried to do some good in the short time we've been with him. And is this the start of a new life for Harry? After all this? Is he just going to die on this island and that's gonna be it? Does he deserve a second chance? I don't know. I don't know.
What?
You know what is impolite? Consigning a lieutenant detective of the Revachol Citizens Militia to eternal damnation. Cool. Your friends. Say hi to your friends for me then. This is so grotesque. Say nothing, just look at her.
She does not look back. Instead, eyes her fingernails. They're bitten frayed. The evening wind blows in. The gown wraps around her like a white flag.
I've heard you before, you're the voice on the phone.
Oh, Harry, you shouldn't have done that.
I know. She shakes her head very slowly, her white hair brushing her shoulders. Do what?
Call me like that.
You ruined it. There was still a chance. You should have waited longer. She would have called you instead.
I've felt like that too. Oh man, have I felt like that. We're like... I've also called in the middle of the night and been like, I just can't stand this anymore. I need to talk to you. And it just made everything so much worse. And as soon as it was done, in my mind I was like, if I just waited like just one more day, maybe she would have been the one to call me and it would have all been better. But of course that's not true. If I just waited like a week, maybe a month, maybe if I wait some more, eventually it's all gonna be better. I've totally been there. But that's not how it works, man. I know, you would have called me yourself if I just let you. I was too impatient. It wasn't me, it was my hand. My fingers called you. Let's talk about something else. She would have not called you, man. Stop lying to yourself.
There is nothing else.
Now, on the second thought, you're Dolores Day, Queen Regnant of the territories of Mundi and Insulindi.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world.
Good.
Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry.
She pulls up the silvery sleeve of her gown to check the time. I do wonder why he happens to conflate Dolores and Dora. I have to imagine it's because they looked alike.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
But that's not a very good way for things to be.
It's not, but...
She looks at her feet. Little golden sandals cover her toes. But what? Tells me there's something good.
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
That's it?
That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
It's true.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
I love when the different aspects like argue among themselves. Good for me where? In fucking hell? I'm not getting over it at all. You're right. I don't even remember who you are anymore. Maybe. I think I've reached the end of the investigation.
See? It just takes some time. For you, I think it'll take something like 20 years, maybe. It was hard for me too. I used to think I couldn't live without you.
She looks you straight in the eye. Her irises are light blue, flecked with green.
But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight. But it's clear you're still making her sad.
20 years? That's so much time.
Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2.
Oh, now that's Harry.
Phew.
That's Harry making himself feel like shit by saying that. He's like, you see, it didn't even take her that long, and she's already over it. So you felt that way once, that you cannot live without me?
Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone.
Your innocence, Dolores Day, I'm sorry I made you sad.
It's okay.
It doesn't have to be like this. Maybe we could try again. Okay then. Super okay? I still have other things I need to know.
What other things? We've been through all the things, Harry.
I know you still love me. Kiss her. I should not do that. Then again, it is just a dream. You get to kiss the innocence in a dream. That's pretty cool. It's not like it's true anyways, but I feel like it's not going to be good for your progress. It's not going to be good for your... C'est pas bon pour ton cheminement. I really don't know if I should click this. Also, could you just miss this entire thing if you don't sleep in the bed? This feels way too important for the game to allow you to skip it. So I have to imagine that as soon as you try going outside the bunker, maybe like Harry just falls unconscious or something, because like this can't be missed. This is way too important. I don't really want to do this. Because she's not gonna let me. She doesn't want to kiss me. I shouldn't force myself on her. Even if it's just a dream. I'm not gonna do it. Just don't go.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
That's not what's said here. You have sworn a holy oath, Harry. She herself begged you not to let her go. Wait, can we sit down and have a coffee first? There's a cafeteria on the corner. Hold on, what is there to do in Mirova? But I swore I wouldn't let you go. You told me, you asked me to be this way. Okay, I understand. What is there to do in Mirova?
Light, life, culture. It's so much better than here. Everything here reminds me of you and the horrible times we had. The nights we stayed up fighting for our dying love. I have to wipe it all off me and be clean again. I want to be a good person again. Not this. Not what you made me into.
Can't we sit down and have a coffee first?
No. That would only be painful and dull. At the aerodrome, life, love, and laughter are waiting for me. At the cafeteria, dust, hell, and tragic comedy.
Alright, I understand.
No, you don't. You're just being a martyr. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me.
That's true. How can that be?
Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago?
How will I see you again then?
Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago.
Okay, so he sees her still young too. He sees her when she was younger. This is intolerably bad.
Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
Why'd I have to go to fucking sleep? God damn it.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Let's solve the fucking case. My sleep was deep and invigorating. Tried to cover up the blood seeping out with your hands. Actually, it was total annihilation, Kim. Swallow the blood and conclude. Let's comb the entire island centimeter by centimeter. That's the next step in the task chain. Just spit out the blood and get back to work. You're a badass like that. How was your sleep? Should I be honest with him? Or should I just be to the point? It was total annihilation, Kim.
I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
No, an ex-wife dream.
The lieutenant nods solemnly. I understand. We've all been through similar things. It can be overcome.
I'm glad I get to choose both. Let's solve the fucking case.
Are you sure you're okay? You thrashed around and you bolted up, half covered in blood from your wound.
Just spit out the blood and get back to work. You're a badass like that.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
Well, you should have woken me up then. How late is it? It's still only 1. Did it get darker in here? Oh boy. I wonder if like this whole scene was missable somehow. Like, does the game force you to go to sleep at another point? Or can you just miss this?
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through them?
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Does anything stand out as unusual? Conceptualization +2 enraged by commies. Let me put on ye old conceptualization outfit.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique, and detective stories. Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes. Fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor.
Nothing? Nothing out of the ordinary?
Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say.
It's something.
The print in some of these is pretty small, though. This person has good eyesight.
Okay. Did I just put another point? Conceptualization is at 7. I want to put another point in that. God damn it. A moth-bitten bed sheet keeps the wind out. Can't believe I missed that fucking roll. You know what? I'm thinking we should equip the gun. We don't know who we're gonna run into, so I'm getting the gun out. Ooh, army surplus winter scarf. Still finding new clothes. +2 empathy, plight of the underclass. -1 composure, sucks to be poor. This Tawi? Old scarf itches when wrapped around the neck. It has humanitarian aid written all over it. Yet you know that thousands all over the Isola are suffering the same fate as you. The fate of uncomfortable army surplus scarves. We're just stealing the guy's clothes. It's the Fallen shirt! Holy shit, there is one. Sleeveless aim. This Fallen training shirt has seen one wash too many. It retains its unusual design, one sleeve short, the other long. But little of its original colors. I've never seen a shirt with just one long sleeve. A giant F swooshes across its chest, now in gray. I need to put on the whole thing, just to see what it looks like. That's it, right? Fallen, fallen. That's the whole thing. Is there a fallen, like, neck thing? Or glasses? Look at that.
Oh, glorious Falnir. You wear the full set like a true-born hero. The ultimate performance of fun flows in you.
I feel so dynamic. I look so futuristic. It's like I can do anything. Anything! I feel so... I can do anything.
You are literally untouchable. A god among mere men. Go on. The fucking sunset awaits, Faln Rider.
Hell yeah. Not gonna wear that though. That's funny. Some magnesium. Money? Why am I even finding money at this point? This great blast door must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it. So can I actually like go over there on the beach? Or was that just in the dream? No, you can. Huh. This hatch is jammed shut.
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
What is this then?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
What does this console do?
Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. Sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
So yeah, urgent, open, turn on, and then radio diffused, I guess this would mean. Push light interior.
Nothing happens.
The radio dial?
The dial slides under the glass, silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
Turn emergency open?
We need to restore power before using this, officer. The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it.
Could I have brought the fuel that I used for the graffito instead?
We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
Feeling that we could go back to the mainland and get some from...
My kinema? I don't want to do that. Let's just look around.
I wasn't gonna say your kinema.
The console stands by.
Okay, so... And there's also something there. More magnesium, more money. So, wait. Yes. Water rushes below, far down below. Where is gonna be... Like, am I gonna be locked off at some point, or am I working towards reaching the end game here? Because I want to explore everything, right? So, where does this lead? Oh, this is where I came from, right? And then this...
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one.
I get it.
A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
This is the end game right here. We need to reactivate the generator and then we can go through here and that's where we'll find the guy. What's on the other side?
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
Alright. I get it. First we must go outside to find some fuel. Then we turn on the generator again. And then we can go outside. A firing slit you can't see inside. Could this be where the shot came from? It must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk, yeah. The distant sound of cargo ships, signal horns echo on the water. It's just you and me, Kim. Just you and me. And this fucking case. We didn't start it, but we're damn sure gonna finish it. Can I go up there? Yes, I can. The winch is broken. Rust has eaten what remains of the chain.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in.
You'll get better, man.
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal. Baby, you know it's going to hurt.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
No.
Yes. No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
Raise your sight.
In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Nah. I've got Kim with me. It's all gonna be better. We'll get through this and then I'll make something of myself. I'll get over it. It's just gonna take some time. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince, then you continue. The inside of the fortress, you make out the console and the blast door. And we should have checked out this island much earlier. What is that there? There's like things moving. Do you see that?
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
The lieutenant lowers his voice, stepping closer with his hand on his gun. Inspect the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Back off.
That embrasure, what can you see through it?
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first.
Quite old and grimy, from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole in the concrete. I'm gonna
The
see
springs
the window.
screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar.
On the left,
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A and 33B.
and on the right,
the red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area.
So between the two is the fucking window.
The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window of Clausia's room.
Motherfucker.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
What do you think, Kim?
More than that,
Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I could be able to see inside the room. Yes.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
cheek against the cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Kim, I could make it. I could make the shot.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot.
Yeah.
This is the sniper's nest.
He pats you on the back, 3 small pats in a row. Pat, pat, pat.
Affirmative.
Finally. Better late than never. Why didn't we come here before? Booyah, master cop work. Why didn't we come here before?
Why? We don't go everywhere in the 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure.
7 people are dead.
Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands or get them drunk.
He looks north over the fortification and adds,
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over
oh,
him.
he's also getting a moral hit.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
On this island?
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says he feels uncomfortable suddenly.
We should move now.
Alright, let's get out of here. An old medicine cabinet newly stocked with Druamin. Oh, is that what's on top of it? Some Druamin, yeah. A weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol, and there's the fuel. A loom fuel canister, that's worth a lot of money. There is still some fuel in this battered canister, a liter or two. The metal looks decades old. The logo of the automotive manufacturer loom has faded on the side. Found the fucking sniper spot. Can you really get a shot like that from 1 kilometer away? You feel eyes on your back, someone's watching but you can't say where. Motherfucker. Just wait until I fucking catch you. So, there's a sniper on this island and then he shot that mercenary, but why? What's gonna be his reason? Is just someone who wanted to kill a Crenel mercenary, or like does he have like delusions that it's still the fucking revolution and like, but no, it's so specific. Like he had to snipe the guy through the window of the hotel and he didn't even have his armor on at the time. He was just like having sex with Clausia and that's it. So why do that? Also, I guess I'm gonna have to put a fucking point in conceptualization just so I can do that roll again, aren't I? I can just let that be.
Soft covers, serialized fantastic.
I mean, I have 2 points, so alright, let's put 1 in there. Conceptualization's so high
Soft
now.
covers, serialized fantastique, and detective stories. Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly light reading.
That's a slaughterhouse, by the way. Look, Kim, powerful communist theory, rigorous and truthful. Look, Kim, deranged commie ranting. Look, Kim, downbeat dribble for people who can't get shit done. Look, Kim, a book. Left wing. I have no comments. Do you?
Ouzia. Humanitarian sciences. Stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Revachol West anymore.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him.
Was it incendiary?
Wasn't there some in the communist students' room?
A student in the apartment building seemed to have some as well.
Well, yes. That one student did.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Critical theory books. What do you think this means?
Again, I am not a philosopher, but whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Communism.
Interesting.
Well, wasn't really worth the point we put into that, but I just had to do it. The completionist in me just had to do it.
This old cylindrical generator, the lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Alright. Now we get to open the fucking door.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light. Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another.
Urgence ouvert, yes.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Push light interior.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient orange.
How about radio dial?
The dial slides under the dusty glass, dark and silent.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
Could this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
How'd the guy get out there if the door was closed behind him? This is very noisy also. He's definitely gonna know we're here now, even though he probably does already.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
Before, outside, when we were walking across the sand, I felt someone watching me.
So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here.
What's there?
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
Let's go. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Walk slow, it might be dangerous. Okay. I've been recording for a very long time, should probably take a break, but like I'm so close to the end that I just gotta keep going. Alright, who's the fucking guy? Show yourself. Small white flowers blossom all around you. Oh, there he is. There's the guy. There's our man. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated, broken. There's our man, just waiting for us. Hey, buddy. We finally meet.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours.
The deserter. So why'd you do it, man?
Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Bell McGraw?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Hinxiao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
How'd you know I was coming?
The boat engine. On the water.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire, 2 twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too. Show him the gun in your hand.
Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
You think you're faster than me?
His right eye twitches. With what? Fear? Rage?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more.
The lieutenant puts his hand on his holster.
If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. That's all the answer he gives.
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's afire, the next, a fire gone out.
Sir, I need you to put down that gun so we can talk further. We're with the police. I'm with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move. I mean, you really should put the gun down.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I am an enemy commander of rank. Put it down. 58%. If I try that and fail, it's really gonna hurt our negotiations, but it's a coin toss.
The words, I am an enemy commander, sound cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
And what rank would that be, dog?
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then stares at it just lying there.
Like an amputated limb in the sand. He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
Let him say it.
The present to be afraid and cold.
The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. It's blue-gray, the same color as the sea. Those words, the future teaches you.
Real music. It's La Revacholière, you shit-licking bougie dog. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
Song of the soldier?
You need to address that remark.
I'm not a shit-licking bougie dog. I'm a half-dead police officer who's just doing his job.
The job of a bougie dog.
What is La Revacholière?
It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of 3.
His eyes remain fixed out on the sky.
In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess.
He struggles to remember, then gives up. La Revacholière, I've heard that name somewhere else in a dream.
Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it.
No, that's not it. I've talked to her.
Talk to her?
He raises his bushy brow and looks down from the sky, straight into your bloodshot eyes. Yes, I get these cold spells. Yes, in the church.
God's shithouse. Should have taken it down like they did in Grad. Dismantled it for firewood.
All around you, the air slowly circulates the islet, carrying little swallows and black-beaked seagulls in its slow drift. They all, every one of them, every bird, mammal, and crustacean,
What?
keep their distance.
How does it go, the song?
How did it go?
He looks at his gun on the ground and shakes his head slowly.
Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him. It was dear to him. He resents forgetting it.
Yeah, should pick up the gun lying in the sand.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand, frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
It's as he said, it's a Triangong made in Sinyao.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
Lieutenant does not take his eyes off the old man.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangong, too.
Alright.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
It does.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
So who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
Wow, you really had this whole little speech rehearsed, did you? His eyes turned to the reeds again, dead and dull. So you knew we were coming and you're not going to fight this. You're just ready to give yourself up?
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean DICM? You're a holdover
Yeah,
from the...
Fucking knew it.
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08.
That means a school of aerial control.
I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been on this island?
43 years. No. I've been on other islands too.
Yeah, you can't have been on this island 43 years. Like, where's the food? Where's your necessities? You need to have been going back and forth. He looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs.
I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's the length of my entire life. That's insane. That's steadfast. That's pretty insane.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods, but he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41.
I've been recording a really long time, so like my neck hurts. I'm trying to find a posture that's comfortable.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic.
Oh, is this right now?
Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
That is what it says.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution.
Who? I come from there, point to the mainland. I can assure you that is not what the people are planning. I've been there, the city is a tinderbox, it may still happen. I've seen it. Capital is too powerful, the rich are very well organized. Women will always betray you. Girl-child nation is too strong for that. The city is a tinderbox at this point.
It won't. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
So I was trying to figure out what possible motive could this guy have. I guess he's kind of like Everard then, like he wanted to create a war because he misses the revolution, that's it. But he had to know who this Crenel guy was, and like he had to really understand kind of like all the players at play in this conflict. The Union, and then Wild Pines, and then Crenel, and like, could he really predict all of this? Like killing this mercenary would then cause Crenel to like turn on the Union, and for the Union to like... Because that's a lot of dominoes to fall in place. You couldn't have predicted it would turn out like this. You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took.
I can tell you've read a lot of books about this. For what?
For reaction to take hold.
What's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
I understand. Communists are natural cowards, quantity over quality. It wasn't a reaction, you were just afraid.
It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
The lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook but does not take it out.
May the 13th, 08. 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor, The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon. But I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
And then you didn't go to the map room.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
Airships, multi-rotored airships used in the landing.
Aerostatics. The landing had started. I climbed out into hell. There were ships all above, hissing, whirling, and men pouring out. The chain was submerged, so I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
You know, this is some heavy shit, and I think I got some comments on this playthrough saying that like the developers of this game are from like, I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to misspeak, but they are from somewhere that's gone through a lot of war, like pretty recently, I think. And so it probably colored their intentions in telling this story. And like, it's really hard to judge someone like that who maybe has done some bad things later in their life, but that also has gone through like some truly fucking horrific shit that like none of us that just spend our time like playing games and watching videos on YouTube and then like going to work and going to the grocery, like we can't imagine the level of horror that it must have been like to be like in fucking Normandy and like all that shit. It's truly mind-blowing what as humans we've put ourselves through. I can't even imagine what it does to your brain to witness shit like that.
Some kind of great terror. Worse than you've ever seen.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
What?
That the bourgeois are not human.
You've lost your mind. I mean, you can totally understand why you would feel that way. I've always suspected the same. That's definitely enough now.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. What is this place, this island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the landing, retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow.
Yeah.
I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
Well, first, I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Deathblow?
Coalition military? Someone who's come to end this madness. So I do understand what happened in Revachol, because we went through a lot of history lessons earlier in the playthrough. It's been a few weeks / months now, so I'm a bit hazy on the details, but basically the revolution was to take down the king, right? And then the communists tried to take control, and then the coalition came here and bombed the whole place, right? Is that what happened? So, I mean, I guess they saw like this revolution happening, and they... I don't know, why did they choose to bomb the whole place? I would have to go back and like review some of the information I was told earlier in the game. I'm a little bit hazy on it right now, but I guess coalition military.
Iblis.
Iblis?
The black-eyed angel.
What is Iblis? How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
That's a choice. You could have become self-employed, create the system. Well, clearly he didn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be part of capitalism. What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
Cuffs once more, then puts his hand on his belly.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I don't think he's going to want that.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
A droll smile stretches across his mouth. We have Duomin and other opioid-based painkillers. You must be in pain. This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over, and we can do it. How have you coped mentally? Do you want some painkillers, man?
I have been running out of that stuff.
A light goes on in his eyes. He smacks his dry lips. So you don't want to die that much, because you could have just killed yourself if that's what you wanted. This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
Moribund means being in the state of dying. How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno?
Yes, Lieutenant?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round.
So he could never allow himself to, like, the war never ended for him. He saw the people kind of move on and just, I guess, give up on this revolution and just move on with their life under the coalition and, like, start their businesses and start just having jobs and accepting the state of things. And he couldn't accept it. He had to keep fighting. But you're not fighting. You're not, like, the coalition isn't here anymore. They're in the sky watching over us. Like, why'd you kill the guy?
It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed
It was
yourself?
hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsoff coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
He nods towards the deflated tire and the reeds.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the water. Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
Damn, he's got some very strong convictions. I mean, they're just people trying to live their lives, man.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
Also, I think maybe this is all meant to be a parallel with Harry. Perhaps? Am I reading this correctly? Well, like, this guy cannot move on from his past, right? The revolution is his ex-something. And for Harry, it's his wife. And, like, I guess there's, like, a parallel there where, like, he's stuck living in the past. And, like, we have to see how it destroyed him. And now Harry, something smart here. The weapons cache under Saint-Ghislain 22B in the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
He looks at you, then pulls the raincoat tighter around his neck. They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
I'm still waiting for, like, his actual reason for shooting. I mean, I can kind of guess now. But I'm waiting to hear it from his mouth, his reason for killing the mercenary. And, like, because I said it's going to be very challenging for them to bring in a new character at the very end. The interesting thing is, like, he's a new character, but in a way, he's a character that's been there this entire game, right? Because throughout this whole game, we've been hearing about the history of Martinez, about the revolution, about the communards, and he's just kind of like the embodiment of the remnants of this conflict. And so in a strange but very clever way, he's not really a new character. He's just like something that's been there this whole game, just given a voice and a face right at the end. Right? That's kind of what I think. There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
He stares at the ruins of the Feld building.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
So you're a communist soldier from the communist army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune.
Okay.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution. A future human.
The tracksuit-clad old man is suddenly reanimated.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology, he was like a cleric, a shepherd.
Really now?
Okay then, over-mystified that a bit.
That means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
I'm a nationalist, by the way. I'm a revolutionary too. Today the real revolutionizing is done by entrepreneurs. I'm not really into politics myself. I still don't really know how to feel about this whole conflict. First of all, their world is somewhat different from ours, so you can't exactly bring the same... I don't know, I'm really not a political expert. I know that there's a lot of problem with capitalism, that's for sure, because that's the world we live in. So it's very easy to see the flaws in that system and how it's created a lot of problems in modern day. But that doesn't mean that, fascism is any better. Communism, I don't really know. And I don't want to get into a big political thing. I mean, we've had many occasions throughout this playthrough. I've kind of spoken a little bit about my feelings towards it, but I don't know. I don't know enough. I think capitalism has a lot of problems, and if it's kept a little more in check, it can be manageable, but I don't think we're put on this earth to make money, you know? A lot of people fall through the cracks in a system like that. I don't know. I don't even want to really talk about it. Alright guys, again, I'm so sorry. I know this is kind of an awkward spot to end the episode, but that conversation with the deserter ended up going on and on and on, and I tried to find a good spot to end it, but I couldn't really do it, so I'm gonna have to stop it here for now. This whole last stretch of the game I kind of recorded in one session, so I have to splice it up a little bit. So you're going to see the end of that conversation, but more importantly, the ending of Disco Elysium in the next episode, which will be the finale. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in today, and until next time, I had fun playing this. Hope you had fun watching it, and I will see you in the next episode for the finale of Disco Elysium. À la prochaine.